He really was, and as corny as this sounds, I do wish that more people would be like Bruce Lee. Because how he came to the United States and made friends with and listened to black people and let that inform how he processed what he was seeing and experiencing in the United States is really the only thing that makes sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me is how people come to the United States and adopt the opinions of the oppressors about the people whom they've oppressed. That just doesn't make any sense. And Bruce Lee was 18 years old when he came to the United States. He wasn't with his parents. He was living with and working at the Chinese restaurant of a host family. And I read that the host family did not want him teaching Chinese martial arts to black people, and they told him that black people were going to use it to beat up Chinese people. Apparently, Bruce Lee's reply was, if black people are beating up Chinese people, they're going to do that regardless. But he saw it as an opportunity to create mutual respect, which of course it did. And I've told fellow Asian Americans, you can't claim to love Bruce Lee while also being anti-black, because he wasn't about that. You can't enjoy what he did for us in terms of representation while not respecting his dedication to solidarity, because the two were inseparable to him.
Shalom. Kol Laimla Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Kakadash. Our praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, and our Lord and Savior, Yahushai. Much respect and honor to the brothers that are doing the work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so, pushing this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad, and double honor and respect to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. First of all, I want to thank the brethren through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Kakadash for praying for me, dealing with extreme dry voice. About an hour ago, I could barely swallow or talk. So the water, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, for his priesthood that he's building, the congregation of the Lord, saints, elect, whose sacrifices are acceptable in his sight. So there's a story that I want to tell about Moab, a couple of personal experiences. One day I'm sitting at a military base, and I like getting my hair cut low. And there was a Chinese barber that I had, female. And I remember she was talking about her daughter going to college prep classes. And I quickly said, well, I would like for my daughter, this was probably about, how many years ago with this? Maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And I said, well, I would be interested in my daughter attending these classes. And she said, she hurried up and changed the subject, but to make a long story short, it was only Chinese students helping each other, which excluded any other race. But when you talk to Israelites, it's we need to love everybody and treat everybody like we're equal with each other. And she was like, well, the kids, they're all Chinese. And I'm looking at her like, okay, so what? But anyway, we're consistently trying to be accepted or trim our ways in the eyes of the other nations, but they don't love us. Now, speaking on the subject of Bruce Lee, I believe through the Spirit, he is an Israelite. He's an Israelite. He had a lot of flavor, very suave, if you will, real smooth in his mannerisms and his deliverance when he speak. The deliverance of his message is what I'm saying. So he had a lot of flavor. Bruce Lee was not your average Moabite, if you will. Now, the story that I heard about him, and I haven't done a deep dive to research it further, was that he was teaching so-called Negroes ancient Kung Fu Chinese secrets to the so-called Negroes, and that it upset the Chinese mafia. Now, I haven't gone and validated that. My background was anyway, I won't go into it, but my job was to research data and do data dives and data analysis and stuff. But anyway, so Bruce Lee was more than likely a Jake, an Israelite, and he took martial arts to the next level. There hasn't been another Bruce Lee. But the point being, these other nations do not accept Jacob, Israelites, at all. Although we're trying to love everybody more than we love each other. We fight against each other, but accept the other nations. Now, how bass-backwards is that? So, so I want to go into some prophecy. And I cannot make this long. Let's go to Isaiah 16. Wait a minute. I thought all nations are going to be saved. This is prophecy of Moab's devastation. Okay? So these other nations have great future judgments. But none is more devastating other than Edom, the so-called white man. Let's go here to Isaiah 16:1. Send ye the lamb to the ruler. Send ye the lamb to the ruler of the land, from Selah to the wilderness, unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be that as a wandering bird cast out of the nest, so the daughters of Moab shall be at the fords of Ammon. Let's look this up. The daughters of Moab, their descendants of Arnon, comes from the Hebrew.
Strong's H 769. Ernon. Ernon.
It says the Arnon, a river east of the Jordan, also a territory. Let's go to at the fords, comes from the Hebrew.
Strong's H 4569. Ma'avar. Ma'avar.
A ford, a place or passage. So it's talking about their utter judgment. Let's keep going. Isaiah 16:3. Take counsel, execute judgment, make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast, bewray not him that wandereth. So Moab was used as a hiding place for the Lord's people, a covert. Remember, the earth helped the woman because the daughter of Zion was scattered into all nations. And the earth is giving up its secrets that's been buried within it. But first and foremost, Israel is embedded under the shadow of these other nations, hiding. Isaiah 16:4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth, the oppressors are consumed out of the land. So the spoiler, the oppressor, is the ruling prince of the power of this world, Esau, the wicked. And Moab is a partner in crime with Edom when we read Psalms chapter 60. So Moab is going to be his washpot. They're going to be relegated to perpetual servitude. And over Edom will he cast out his shoe. When you take off your shoe, that's your possession. Where you put your shoes at, you treat it as a possession or a resting place. So Edom's territories are going to be devoured and possessed by Jake. Let's read that again. Isaiah 16 and 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth, the oppressors are consumed out of the land. So more than likely, who we call Bruce Lee was hiding under Moab. He's an Israelite, and I'm speaking through the Spirit because his spirit bears witness with our spirit. He was casted away by Moab. Isaiah 16 and 5. And in mercy shall the throne be established, and he shall sit upon it in truth, in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hasting righteousness. So that's the Lamb that's going to occupy the throne of his father David. Yahushua, a so-called Negro man with black hair, with woolly hair, a dark-skinned man with woolly hair. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness and his pride and his wrath, but his lies shall not be so. So Moab is going to fall with this beast system that they are clinging so desperately tight upon. Edom. Therefore shall Moab howl for Moab. Let's read that again. Isaiah 16, verse 7. Therefore shall Moab howl for Moab. Every one shall howl for the foundations of Kirkoseth shall ye mourn. Surely they are stricken. Let's look up Kirkoseth. Excuse me. Comes from the Hebrew.
Strong's H 7025. Kir. Kir.
One of the two chief strongholds of Moab. So a nation gets its strength through its military, through its teeth. So they're going to be broken through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushua. He's going to smite Moab. Let's go to Numbers 24 and 17. One moment. The book of Numbers, chapter 24. So this is the vision of Balaam, that he presented to Balak. Numbers 24 and 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. So Moab is joined unto this beast system, unto peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. They are in agreement with the New World Order and digitally labeling, tagging, and tracking its citizens as well. They've been given the mission by the international elites to lead this digital effort of the New World Order. So they're used as a poster child, if you will, or a blueprint to help usher this thing in globally. So Moab is in agreement and in bed with the beast, Edom. Why you think they're already scanning their citizens and using a social credit score merit-based system. So the international elites' plan is to raise up Moab or China as the next hammer of the earth, a battle axe of the global wicked elite. That's their plan. And demolish America and use it as a massive grave or blood sacrifice. Let's go up. I said I wouldn't make this long. Let's go to Numbers 24. Let's go to verse 5. Once again, Balaam's vision that he is presenting to Balak, who wanted to curse Jacob or Israel. Numbers 24 and 5. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. So the Israelites are going to spread their kingdom of rulership throughout the galaxies, throughout the universe, where the Most High has stretched forth the curtains of the heavens. This kingdom is bigger than what we see here in the hood, okay, or in our little township. That's bugged out. It's going to expand beyond the galaxies as the valleys. Let's go back to that. How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and the tabernacles of Israel. As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as the trees of line aloes, which the Lord hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. Eternal life, planted and connected to the source of life, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So his spirit is raining down on his cedar trees, his elect. Let's go to verse 7. I got ahead of myself. He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Agag, Amalek. So the Amalekites are going to be crushed, defeated, that were the first of the nations. So they are at the top of this satanic, demonic pyramid system here on earth. They're going to be crushed. Remember, the Lord is going to smite the corners of Moab, and he's going to use the tabernacle of David, the mighty men, to do so. So his spirit is raining down on the trees of righteousness that are blooming and sprouting upward and outward. Okay, let's go back to this. See, tabernacle of David that we read in verse 5. And remember, the Israelites, his mighty men, are his battle axe. Let's go back to verse 4. Isaiah 16 and 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth. The oppressors are consumed out of the land. So he's going to smite Moab. The Bible complements itself. It's something I miss here. Let's go up. So that destruction starts with intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's right here. Numbers 24 and 8. God brought him forth out of Egypt. He hath, as it were the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. So these arrows are going to reach to Babylon and Moab. Let's see if I can find that. I think it's 2nd Ezra 15. Let's see. Second Ezra 15. It's and thou Asia, right here. Second Ezra 15. Let's go to verse 44. Let's go to 43. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. The context are these missiles, the arrows of the Lord's indignation. They shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto heaven, and all they shall be about her shall bewail her. So Babylon, Sheth, the conglomeration of nations, and let's keep reading. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and are the glory of her person. See that? So Moab is joined unto this system, followed by Vietnam, South Korea. You see? And thou, Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and are the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So the arrows of the Lord are also going to plague Moab with fire. You see, so we'll go back to Numbers 24 and 8, I believe. God brought Jacob out of Egypt. God brought him forth out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. So the Lord is going to raise up the battle axe of the house of David, mighty men, elect, up and coming kings and priests. So the arrows start with nuclear weapons, which is going to create a holocaust or burnt offering effect. So he's going to bend the bow of Judah and make his men change new bodies, as in the days of old. I think that's in Zechariah 9. So he's going to change his men. Zechariah 9 and 12. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When you go into China, and I've been to China, Beijing, 4 is an unlucky number. Judah is the fourth born. So that number is what they coded as black or darkness, evil, unlucky. So their high-level elites that are in the know are aware of this. Judah, the fourth born. That number 4 is unlucky, bad. Let's read this. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. See? So the tabernacle of David is being reinstated. That are going to start their judgments running through the fire when Babylon is destroyed. You see, that change is going to occur. Babylon is going to be judged first with fire. And the Lord's men are going to be changed, his elect kings, as in the old days. And they're going to run through the sparks like fire. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. For the Lord is going to turn up his men, as in the old days, to become walking weapons of war. And he's going to gather the outcasts of Israel. Psalms 147, verse 2. The Lord doth build up Jerusalem. He gathereth together the outcasts of Israel. He healeth the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds. So the elect are going to become made perfect, healed, made whole again. New creatures, walking hazards, walking lethal weapons. This is serious business. So he's gathering his stones together of his treasure, the mighty men of the house of Israel. I think the next one I wanted, and we'll close out there. Let's close out there. Zechariah. We're messing with the app. Oh, I'll tell you. Evil E is non-stop. So we can't stop. Zechariah 10. God will bless Judah and Ephraim. So Ephraim is being propelled forward through the energy and the spirit of Judah, Yahweh. The Most High's name is in Judah, and his spirit rests upon Judah, and is going to be turned up and propel forward the mighty men of Ephraim, northern kingdom. So Judah sets the, what's the word? What do you say that in the game speed? Sets the temple, sets the, I'm drawing a blank right now. The temple of the game, the temple. Sets the temple, I think is what I'm trying to say. So Judah sets the pace, if you will. Yeah, sometimes I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, so Judah sets the temple of the speed or of the spirit of intensity of the other tribes. Sets the pace. Let's go to Zechariah 10. Zechariah 10. Let's go to verse 3. Mine anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I punished the goats, for the Lord of hosts had visited his flock, the house of Judah, and have made them as his goodly horse in the battle. So the elect men are going to become new creatures, made perfect with spiritual power. Out of him came forth the corner, out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, out of him every oppressor together. And they shall be as mighty men which tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in the battle, and they shall fight because the Lord is with them, and the riders on horses shall be confounded. So the house of David is coming together as one force, unified through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Zechariah 10:6. And I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will save the house of Joseph, and I will bring them again to place them, for I have mercy upon them, and they shall be as though I had not cast them off. For I am the Lord their God, and will hear them. Beautiful. And they of Ephraim shall be like a mighty man, and their heart shall rejoice as through wine. Yea, their children shall see it and be glad. Their heart shall rejoice in the Lord. You see? So the Lord is building or rebuilding his tabernacle, which is the fortress of his kingdom. So everything is centered around Judah first being waken up, followed by the house of David, all 12 tribes, leaders. So the pace of this thing is set, or the tempo is set by Judah. And that force, that intensity that rests upon Judah is being dispersed to influence the other tribes. When you look at the mass propaganda, Judah is being used on TV to put on dresses, to look at some of these actors you're seeing, put on dresses, and play big mama roles on TV. You got Judah doing that because the elite understand the prophecies to a certain degree. So they're trying to turn backwards the hands of prophetic time and prophecy by upsetting the tempo that Judah sets. But you cannot upset prophecy. More than likely, Bruce Lee was an Israelite. And some of the rumors could be true, but again, I haven't validated it on what the Chinese mafia did to him or Moab did to him. Anyway, hopefully this lesson has been edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Kwakadash. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Once again, thank you for the prayers, beloved, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Kwakadash. Kwam Yeshualam, the Ba. We got next, Lord willing. Shalom.